you guys are willing to help, I want to get the engine and transmission out, get the entire front crossmember assembly out, all the suspension parts out, start cleaning up the frame, and see if we can get some of these parts at least started to be mocked up.
Oh, that'll happen.
That's the funny thing about engines with coolant in them is you never ever get all the coolant out of it. Ever.
The radiator, but there's still more.
Yep. So we're gonna make a mess. That's the moral of the story.
No! Ruining my blue suede shoes. Give me my bucket.
3 ounces of it in the bucket, about 12 on the floor.
One of the things that's fun about project cars is learning how they come apart. So we've learned with this big block swap C10, there's a little bit less room for headers than there would be for a small block. How many cubic inches is this thing, John?
540.
540, you've got a little bit of room to play. So last bit, we've got the heater hose is disconnected. Obviously the coolant system's gone. The headers are disconnected and ready to lift out when we start to pull the engine out. And the last thing, of course, is wiring. And so we go one by one, connected from a sensor, work your way back to the harness. All right. I think that's everything as far as the wiring is concerned. What's left is to kind of float the engine on loose mounts and get everything wiggled out. Yep.
Aren't you glad we all get along and there's no fake drama? All right, so all we got to do now that we got the transmission loose is take off engine mounts and hook up a chain, right? Do you need your help, Philip?
Yep. Violent.
Just have to take the shifter off, and then some of these pickups have a removable transmission tunnel. Nice.
That is a nice air door.
Whoa!
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Man! I would grab the dirtiest part of the vehicle.
Nice, that worked out too.
Look at that. I can get in and push down on it. Freedom! It's a very unconventional method, but it's working. Oh no! Where you can stand on top of the transmission.
Well, yeah, this would have been more of a pain in the ass without that access hole shut down. This was the #1 tool at Drag Week. All the Drag Weekers like, this is the most important thing I own.
He's like, here is exactly 2 cups of water. I will say it's better than Doug's cup that you see in some of previous things we've filmed, where he's got that dainty little teacup.
Hey, it's like this intentional.
You got to cut back to that right now.
That's heavier than I thought. All right, we've got the engine out. Now what we've got to do is take out the bolts and the rivets that hold in this crossmember and some of the brackets holding it to the frame. But first, what we'll have to do is take this and take out some of the...
Philip, that's my soda.
I don't think so, actually.
Well, no, I don't.
What you gonna do?
You know what? I would have expected more from my maid of honor. Woo! I've been in the car building web series business for 76 years, and that is the worst thing that's ever happened to me.
No, I don't know what happened there. I don't know why he got all mad. That code's clearly mine. I worked here longer than he has existed.
So after the Berlin Wall went down, my family fled Germany. And they came here and they only took that vanilla Coke with them, and then Philip drank it.
I don't even like vanilla Coke.
Philip was like, that's my Coke. Jacob was like, no, that's my Coke. And I just went, woo!
In order to get a crossmember out of a 67 to 72 Chevrolet C10, you've got to take out some rivets. Now, unlike nuts and bolts, which come apart with a little bit of ratcheting, these have to be drilled, cut, or whatever method you prefer. Let's see which method works quickly. I've got air power. What kind of power tool do you prefer?
I'm using a drill
All right.
and a big hammer.
I don't know why you guys are wasting your time when I got this.
A plasma cutter might be a little better than this. So that's what we were working towards this whole time, was getting the entire front suspension out of this thing. That was the last remaining piece. It's that giant cross member, because we're actually going to weld in a new cross member and then have tubular control arms, coilovers. It's going to look really, really awesome when it goes back together.
So we're at the end of the day. I think we got a lot done. I'm thrilled. You know, the engine's out, transmission's out, and all the front suspension is off. So, except for the shocks, but I'll take care of that.
The real trick is that he got free labor out of us.
I guess you can't duct tape everything forever.
No.
Chuck Norris is going to be too good when it's done.
No, I don't want that to happen. 3 days. We need this car done in 3 days, guys. It's gotta happen right now.
We gotta get to the auction.
Well, I figured while it's out, I don't really have any reason to suspect that there's anything wrong, but might as well do a compression test on it. I have a leak down tester. We can just check to see where the engine's at. Basically, take all the spark plugs out of the engine because it's easier for the starting motor to crank it over. Stick this thing into each cylinder and measure how much cranking compression we've got. So,
We made that look more difficult than it should have been.
so at 100 psi air pressure, we've got 90 psi being retained in the cylinder.
10% is pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah.